The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning and welcome. This is Tina Bradford. I am one of your national trainers here at Mortgage Coach. I will be your hostess for this March Madness special edition today. Today we will be going through the using and creating an ARM comparison product. So that is the one that we will be going through. We know with Mortgage Coach, we want to make sure that you guys do have it on your phone. We want to make sure you are giving your clients as well as your realtors a modern mortgage experience. So if you have not downloaded it on your phone, now would be a great time to get that phone out. Go to either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and type in Mortgage Coach, 2 words, and download your product. So with that being said, I am going to jump right into today and what we are doing. So I'm going to go into an analysis that I have already created. With this analysis, this is showing a 30-year fixed and a 7-1 ARM, the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. When I go and dive a little deeper and show you how to build it, I will show you where you'll find the differences on this presentation. But I will let you know that in these scenarios, because it is the worst and the best case scenario, that payment is based off to today's payment. So in here, the monthly payments, it will be the same, as well as the savings over 60 months. Where you're going to see that difference is in the interest in MI that's paid over 10 years because of the adjustment being made. So let's go ahead and get started. I want you to go to edge.mortgagecoach.com and if possible, work alongside with me. If you are on dual computers, drag me to one side, open Mortgage Coach on the other. But if you're on a single computer, go ahead and downsize this and open up a new browser window. I will try to be as precise as possible in order for you to be able to keep up with me. Once you're here at edge.mortgagecoach.com, you want to type in your credentials and log in. After logging in, we are going to create a new client. So on that top menu bar, click on New Client. Now, I'm going to create this as a marketing piece. I could do it if I did have a client, and I would choose individual here. In my circumstances, I'm going to click on Marketing. Report headline. I can put anything in here that might be catchy. This will be on the presentation, so you want to make sure that it's something that you can show your clients and they would understand. So comparison, or I'm just going to put 30-year fixed versus 7-1 ARM. Phone number does not pertain, and neither does any of the other information. However, I do like putting a friendly name in there. I'm going to put today's date, 3/16, and then I'm going to put what it is that I am showing. This is for myself. That way, if I come back and I look at it, I know exactly what it is that I am demonstrating, as well as the last date I updated it. On the goal, simply purchase a new home. I could click on any of these in this scenario, but purchase a new home will not trigger anything else. Now, property value or purchase price, I'm going to put in the purchase price. In this scenario, let's use $400,000. And now I am not working with an individual client. If I was working with an individual client, I would want to make sure to put the affordability information in here. So I would want to have a dynamic conversation with my client. This way they could tell me what needs to be in this pay or these two spots. However, I'm going to add a tax bracket in there. I'm going to use 25%. That's the average American tax bracket. If you're in a jumbo market, it might be 33. If you're in a first-time home buyer, lower income, down payment assistance, it might even go down even lower. So just know your local market. Now I'm going to click over and I'm just going to show you these screens. We get to our first product. First product I'm going to do is that 30-year fixed. Keeping my title under 12 characters, nice and short is better. It shows up a lot better on the presentation, and you do have a 12 character limitation. Now, if you have product templates, I want you to use a product template here. I want you to get accustomed to doing it as quick as possible. I'm going to build from scratch because I want to make sure that you're capable of doing that. We have our purchase price in there. I'm going to toggle over to use 20%. Using the percentage is great because it allows it to automatically update for the purchase price. Interest rate on this, I'm going to go ahead and use 4%, and with it being a 30-year, it's 360 months. Moving to the next screen, we are now on the products information for the closing cost. Going into that closing cost detail sheet. Again, if you have templates, use that drop-down menu bar and choose a template. If you do not have templates, you can simply add fees as needed. If you need to add a custom fee, click on Add Custom Fee, and you can put that fee in there. These fees should correlate with your closing cost detail sheet. So whatever is on that should be on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a template over. And this one's all blank. Let's not use this one. Let's go on down to my 30-year template. So I am going to go ahead and remove the taxes and insurance off here. And I want to show you how to quickly add a fee. So clicking on there, I'm going to type in U. There's the underwriting. I can now type in any amount that it is. So once you're happy with your fees, simply apply that to the loan. Now your fees should be dropped in here. If you're working with a client and there's earnest money involved, as well as points being paid, this is where you would put that in. You can also include your prepaid interest days on this page. We're going to carry it over to the next page, and now we have any of our monthly costs. So first is our hazard insurance and property tax. I could put these in. However, I'm using this as a marketing piece, so I'm going to leave them blank. This allows me to be able to use them in any county as well as any state without me having to come back and adjust these changes. Mortgage insurance, if I was doing an FHA loan, I would have that on there. Now I can add my reserves here. Let's do the basic 2-month reserves, 12-month premium, and then the 4-month tax reserves. And now we're going to click on the green button at the bottom middle, add another product. That second product I'm going to create is that 7-1 arm. And again, I could choose to do a template, but I'm actually going to come to the copy from. This is going to allow me to copy over my closing cost as well as all of the figures for the loan that I am doing. You can see the purchase price is dropped in, the 20% is dropped in. Interest rate, we're going to adjust. Let's say it would be 3.75 on the 7-1 arm. Term is still 360. However, now I need to go and change it to an ARM product. When I move to the next screen, you will now see I have my ARM details to put in. In here, you want to put in just as it says. Your first adjustment cap, I'm going to say -2. The month that it adjusts first in. In this scenario, this is a 7-year loan. So 7 times 12 plus 1, so 85. periodic cap, I'm going to use 10. And it's going to adjust. It's a 7/1, so it adjusts every year after that 7 years, so 12. My max rate, I'm going to say the highest interest rate this loan can be is 10. Now we're going to have the margin on here. Let's say my margin is 1.25. And now on the index, I'm going to set mine on the LIBOR index. That tends to be the most popular when you are working with ARM loans. So this allows you to go in and make those adjustments. You can always customize it as well by putting your own percentage in here, and it'll just be a custom rate. Now, the one thing I do want to show you is right here, scenario. It is set on worst case scenario. Most banks as well as brokers always show worst case scenario to be within compliance. However, you do have that ability to show the other ones. I'm going to make a copy of this one and show you custom rates in our next product. I want to make sure you know how to make those adjustments. So let's leave this one on worst case. Moving to the next screen, everything has been dropped in as well as this other screen. So we can see none of this is in there because I did not put it in. However, at the bottom, we have our reserves. Adding in that third product, this is going to be the 7/1 ARM Custom. And I'm just labeling it so you know when you're going through it exactly what it is that I was doing. This is going to be really easy to make those adjustments. I'm going to click on 7/1 ARM. All this should be the same. The only thing I'm needing to adjust is when I go over here into custom, is this custom field. I'm going to say it does not go up to that max, but each year it only goes up 1%. So I'm going to change it to 1%. So over here is the years or the months that it is. So you can see that every year it has gone up 1%. And I could add in another one. Let's say if I wanted to add the next one in, I would simply click on add. I would go over here, add my 12 months in there, so 132. And then I would add that 1%. So you would see the interest rate that it goes to is right here. On the same token, I could go in and I could subtract. So maybe the following year, it changes. So 144th month, now it's going to go down 2%. So you can see that adjustment in the rate right over here. You can also go in and delete any one of them that does not pertain. Let's say it does not adjust during this one. We can delete it out. Now we can have it as a custom. Clicking on OK, we can now move through to the end. We have all of this information dropped in on the next 2 pages. Now we go to our analysis sheet. Analysis sheet allows you to adjust it based on your current market area or the client you are working with. Average percent of appreciation is 4% for the U.S. expected this year. Short-term analysis, we have it set at 60. 60 is the average short-term investment account. They are typically around 5 years, so that's why we've chosen that. And then the long-term analysis, I'm actually going to change it to 10 years. Average family is keeping their home approximately 10 years in today's market. Now you can see here, I have this set on the highest product. Which product is going to cost the most? I could change and adjust it to the needs of my client. Same thing with the short-term savings area. If I wanted to do a reinvestment strategy, I could add that reinvestment strategy right here. So I could apply that $45 here, and I could do it here. And if I wanted to do it based on the rate or the change in the market, double clicking right here brings up a very similar little schedule change so I can make those changes to the actual payment. I'm going to cancel out of here as well as this one and move back to here. Next is the contact information. Street address does show up on here. So maybe I'm going to put your new home. Now moving forwards. Here I can choose my presentation. I'm going to leave it on total cost analysis. And then if I didn't want to show that custom arm, I could simply uncheck it. I'm going to leave it checked because I want to show you guys the differences. Taxes and insurance are not included in my presentation, so I'm going to clean that area up. And now I could carrot through the next few pages, but I already know I've made the adjustments I want, so I'm going to put my mouse on presentation and jump right into preview. Once I'm into preview, I now have this page. I'm going to take it off, notify me when the report is viewed. The reason why is I'm using it as a marketing piece, so the information is not going to tell me as much as if it was for a client. I'm also adding that quote date on. This is to protect me as well as the company I work for. And I'm going to click on generate a link. This link right here is that link that you can copy and you can email it directly to your client. I'm going to go ahead and click on the add audio video here so I can explain the differences on this compared to a total cost analysis that's not using an ARM product. So when you are on here, the one place you can see that reflect is right here. You can see that ARM is using the average of the worst case scenario. And in this one, it's using the average of that custom scenario. So you can see how this plays out. It is not reflected in the monthly payment, so this is based on the actual payments starting the loan. The savings over 6 months, you will not see it here because this is a 7-1 ARM, and this is set on 5 years. If it was set on, let's say, 10 years, you would then see it reflected here. Interest in MI is on 10 years, so you will see it reflected here as well. You also see the payments are the same for the last two products, as well as the tax benefit. Now, if you were to dive more into this more information, the last two products in all of these windows will be identical. It's not reflected that worst case versus or that custom versus worst case scenario in these. However, you can click into payment stream. When you click into payment stream, this is that breakdown. So the max payment on this loan based on the worst case scenario will be the $2,502. If you go into that custom, you can see the same information reflected in here. So in this scenario, the worst one is right here, and that is at $1,956.81. So you can see all of that information based on the ARM loan right here. That is where you want to point it out to your clients so they understand what the ARM loan is doing and how those adjustments can be made. At this point, you could record a message. This is the record message button right down here. If you get crazy with highlighting, go ahead and clear it and start all over. And then you can save it, print it, or share it right here. So that is the way. And depending on your enterprise, you may have different choices down here in order to stay compliant within your company. So that is how you build the ARM total cost analysis. I do want to let you know that if you do need extra help with anything, we always have that help available right here. And this is a keyword search. So simply typing in the keyword that you are looking for, you are able to look in here and see this information. So a lot of the times we are asked, why is the ARM loan showing so high of the interest rate? Well, it is because it is showing the average for the worst case scenario. You can also go in here and see the adjustments. If you have further questions that are not answered on here anywhere, feel free to send us an email and send it to support@mortgagecoach.com. If you'd like to come join me, Brian, or Starlet for a little bit more training, we'd be happy to help you. Just come on into the calendar and sign up for any of your classes right here. So that is what we have to share with you today. I hope that this is able to help you grow in your business. Thank you and have a great day.